Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Local Talent Showcase. My name is Tony Frantino, and my show brings good news to the Sacramento, Roseville area. And today, as we sit here on a television set, I have a friend from Access Sacramento that's involved with radio. So let me welcome Shane Carpenter. Hi, Shane.
How's it going there, Tony? It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little about yourself and radio.
Well, I've been here pretty much as long as this place has been here. I was at the grand opening in 1986, and shortly after, in '87, I was one of the first interns that were hired here. And actually, at that point, there weren't any walls even. The studio walls didn't exist. It was all framing. You could actually be here in the studio and look straight into production because there was no framing there. And then, we were teaching radio courses out at Cosumnes River College, and that's where I was attending at the time. And so, kind of in about... from '87 on, we were sort of the radio station was kind of a collection of volunteers, and myself included, and we'd go on the air here and there, a few hours a day, and then along about 1989 is when I actually got hired here as an employee, and I've been, basically working here, ever since. It was 20 hours, then I went up to 30 hours, and it was 40 hours for about 16 years, and then we had budget cuts, and along about 2003 I was cut back to halftime, and I've been there ever since until just a few weeks ago actually, and now I'm back to 30 hours a week.
Whoa! So,
but in a way, everything happens for a reason, and so I was able to pursue a career in education too, and I am credentialed instructor, vocational multimedia instructor, and I've been, I've taught at the high school level for about 10 years, and my credential is, it's still in effect. But here again, budget cuts took me out there, so as soon as we get a chance to start funding high schools and schools in general again, then I'll be back doing that too. But the neat thing about it is that I've been able, my own personal life, I've been able to, pursue the career in broadcasting, because, all told, I think I'm pushing about 30 years of broadcasting experience, and I've worked in various radio stations here in town and in the North State, and so I guess the bottom line is that I've been lucky that I can pursue my career, and I been lucky to be here all this time too, because right out of college, this place was brand new, and I recognized it for the neat place that it was.
And how many radio shows do you have on air?
Well, currently we have upwards of 50 weekly producers. We produce about, all told, we have about 168 hours. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we don't do all 24 hours. I mean, we're nearly there. I mean, we're producing about 100 to 110 hours a week. And we have volunteer producers just like you folks do in TV land. And we have different types of, all types of different kinds of radio programs. There's music programs, there's talk shows, there's self-help programs. We have, for example, I mean, I could just rattle off a bunch of stuff, and we'll do a little bit of that, because I do want to talk about the great programs that we have, right, especially the new programs that we have. For example, Fridays 12 to 1, there's a program called Career Tips. It's with Barbara X. Miller, and she is a career specialist. So if you're into resume development or career job search, that kind of stuff, in a way, it's the same kind of stuff I would use to teach my high school students. And she's an excellent hostess, and she has lots of great information. And then we've got Semi-Twang, which is a program on Thursdays from 8 to 10, and replays on Friday mornings at 8 to 10. And that's sort of a Americana country music program. But we've got psychic programs. There's all kinds of stuff.
You got the aviation program.
We have an aviation program, as a matter of fact, on Saturdays from 2 to 4. We've got that going. And you know, there's tons and tons of jazz programs.
Let me ask you that. What channel does
how to hear us? Yeah.
How do I hear you?
Yeah. Well, the best place you can hear us is on the internet. We're streamed live, and we have an MP3 stream, and you can hear us at Sacramento or accesssacramento.org. It's our main webpage. Go to the webpage, and then you'll see a radio link at the top middle of the page. You can click right on that, and then it'll fire off the web player for you, and you'll be able to hear the program.
Yeah, I will put that up on the credits so people can go in and access you.
You bet.
Now, let me ask you this. On the TV side, you have to take all the classes, camera, editing, before you can touch the equipment. What is it on the radio side? What is involved if I want to do a radio show?
Well, it's the same kind of thing. We have a radio production class, and it's a month-long course. It's 8 hours total, and you start at the beginning week of each month on Tuesday, and that's where the classes are offered. One session is at 4, and another session is at 6 p.m. And once you complete that course, then you're eligible to either produce a live program, or you can produce programs on tape or disc, as the case may be.
Now, most of your shows on disc or live?
Right now, it's about 50-50, because here again, I mean, you know, we have 2 studios. One's a live studio, one's a production studio, and they are busy, you know, all the time now. And it's kind of a scramble for me, because whenever the production studio is not being used, it's also my office, and it's also where we teach. So, you know, it keeps me hopping, that's for sure. And sometimes I have to take refuge in the media lab, because you know,
yeah,
it's a good place, you know. But you know, I kind of feel out of sorts without my studio. So, but on the good side, the really neat thing is that, you know, the studios are just full up with people, and it's just, you know, more programming is happening every day. And we teach, just getting back to the classes, you know, we teach 2 people, or I teach 2 people per session. So we graduate a maximum of 4 people every month, and we're running pretty good. This month, I think this would be the month of July that we're taping, and we're going to graduate at least 2 students for that session.
Now, does it? I know on the TV side, to do a show, there is a fee. We have to pay X amount, depending on how many days your shows are on. This show is weekly, so on the radio side, is there a fee after you pass all the class?
Well, actually, we've never had any kind of fees like that. The only charge that you do have is your membership fee, which is $30.
Right. And
we've actually, you know, in years past, the radio producer's membership fee was $100, because we were helping, you know, pay for the internet.
Right.
But now that you know, we've gotten some extra capital expenditures, we can you know, go back to the $30 a year membership, and of course, you know, the radio class is $20, but that's it. You know, once you have that taken care of, you can have your show as long as you want to, and it doesn't cost you any more money than that, other than your yearly membership. So
fantastic.
That's the way it's always been.
So if someone in my audience is sitting and saying, "I always wanted to be a radio DJ,"
Yep.
So how would they begin?
Well, probably the best thing that you want to do is you want to go check out the website, you know, and so it's accesssacramento.org. and you want to take a look, kind of peruse around there, and there, there's a section on the left-hand side. There's a section called Programming. You can click on that link, and then it brings you to another page, and you click on the top link, which is the radio link to our main page, and you can see pictures of our studios. You can take a look at our program guide. You can take a look at the Live 365 pages that we have, and the schedule, and so that's the best thing, the introductory advice. And then the next thing is you probably want to sign yourself up for an orientation session, which is free, and that'll give you the big picture of Access Sacramento.
Right.
And then at that point you'll probably be ready to sign up for the radio production class. And then if you'd like to, you can take a tour, and I'll be happy to speak with anybody. We can give my contact information at the end of the program.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But definitely, you can come down and you can take the classes, and then at that point, you just we go from there. And the radio classes, I try to gear it towards the general information that we need. Everybody needs to know about the mixers and the microphones and the CD players, and how to operate the studio, and how to record on our computer, because we have a digital editing system that we use. It's Adobe Audition, so it's top of the line, state-of-the-art type stuff we're using. And we just got a new computer in last year, so it's a pretty beefy machine. So,
is there any possibility of the station going on regular radio?
Well, there is. There's a lot of activity. The FCC is, about to open up some interesting avenues for us and other people in the community here. And we've always, tried to avail ourselves of any kind of media outlet that we have. And then, of course, we've used El Camino High School's frequency at 91.5. We contracted with them, and we were on their station for about 3 years, and we used the time that they wouldn't use, and we kept them on the air 24/7, and actually helped them out and taught them a lot. Now they operate their own station, and they have their own automation system, and a lot of the stuff they learned from us, as most people do. And it's kind of interesting. The former owner of KSAC, which is Talk City, 20 years back, I taught her how to, operate this equipment. And so it's kind of weird, years and years will pass, and then, next thing you know, I get a call and they want me to be a program director over there. But I didn't have the time back then, and anyway, they're a good station, but you just never know. You never know where this kind of education is going to lead, and you never know where the people are going to go that you make friends with here. So,
how many radio stations are there in Sacramento?
Well, there's probably, I would say, about 20, 30 radio stations. And then, of course, the Sacramento market is not only just the city and county of Sacramento. It goes through the region. So, but yeah, there's quite a lot of media activity, television and radio here, and we're the 27th largest media market in the country. So it's pretty neat to be in this market, and of course it's also pretty great to be in the capital city, California. So there's a lot of activities. As a matter of fact, one of the high points in my career was around around 2000. Ralph Nader was here, and he was campaigning for president, and we were on 91.5 at the time, and I was the only media outlet that actually covered the meeting, or his appearance at the Crest Theater. And not only that, there were so many people at the Crest Theater that the crowds were spilling outside to K Street. And so what did? They fired up a little boombox there, and people were listening to our broadcast outside, and there was probably half again as many people outside as there was inside. So it just shows you the power that broadcast media has.
Do you do sports too?
We have done. The first games of the week were ours. And there's a lot of the first state fair activity was us. There's a lot of things that the first California Interscholastic Federation. Not Interscholastic. It's the The Sac Joaquin, it was basically high school basketball. Those tournaments, we've done those. We were the first here at Access to do those. So there's lots of things that we've done over the years, and we don't really toot our horns so much. We're just in there doing the thing and having a good time.
I know one of the things we talked about was I'm into aviation. I love aviation, planes and so forth. And we talked about the air show that's coming in September.
That's right. This will be the 7th annual California Capitol Air Show, and we've covered that event for 6 years. And I was actually at them all, except the first year I was just a regular old civilian, you know, not a media person, and it's just a real pleasure to be affiliated with them too. And I've had some really great experiences. And
how do you cover an air show on radio?
On radio, well, you know, that's a question that we get a lot. But the neat thing about it is, you know, for one, you know, we're a stereo signal. See, so if you put on your headphones and close your eyes, you're just there. And so what we'll do is we'll go and we'll get sound effects of the aircraft. We'll get interviews from the pilots, and especially since you're media, it's like, you know, carte blanche. You know, you work with the people there, but the idea is that a lot of times, you know, you're behind the scenes. And I've had many experiences where you know, I've been at the right place at the right time and been around the aircraft real close. And of course, I also have a video camera, and so I take you know, video of the events and have my own YouTube page actually. So you know, if you want to see that, everybody, it's youtube.com/Shanester, because that's my name, Shane, Shanester6. So all one word. And by the way, if you want to look at the radio station, it's got its own YouTube page too, and that's youtube.com, and then of course /SacVoice.
Well, so you'll give me all that info, and I'll put it on the credits.
You bet, yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. I know that since I'm here a lot on taping my shows and
you're
editing,
everywhere.
It's sometimes going into the production room, you have bands and you have singing groups, and I'm figuring, how do you fit all these people in that little room?
Well, yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, and you know, the latest talk is you know, about the green room.
Oh yes.
But really, you know, it started out, it was designed as our talent area, and we still continue to use it today. So, you know, if there's a little bit of extra, you know, need, you know, you need more people in the studio, you know, we can put people in here. There are tie lines to this studio here, so if we want to have a large band in, we can.
So you can remote it here to your radio.
Absolutely. And of course, if we have to, I mean, we can broadcast live from anywhere. So and so we do that. And you know, we've covered, like I said, we've covered lots of events. You know, there was a poetry reading a while back, and it was like the 20th annual one. They only do it once every 10 years, and so you know, we covered that. And we were at the Thursday night markets back when they had those. And so there's all kinds of things that we can do, and the technology keeps getting cooler and cooler, so, you know, who knows what we're going to do next. As a matter of fact, you know, back in the day, I was the first, believe it or not, I was the first to send live pictures back from somewhere. And it was over the, it was before the internet was even around. It was back in 1992, 93. And we broadcast a live event from the Fox and Goose. It was a St. Patrick's Day event.
Yes.
And I sent, it was 15 frames a minute, not 15 frames a second, but they were full screen, and we sent them back, and I invented a system, a couple computers, and hooked them all together, and it was all automated, so we could send pictures along with the sound back. And we broadcast that over channel 17 back in the day. So So yeah, you know, there's all kinds of. One of these days, I mean, I got a whole file cabinet full of history, and a whole brain full of history. Although it's getting pretty shaky, that old brain. But you know, when you're keeping track of 25 years, it tends to all blend into yesterday.
Yeah, Access Sacramento just celebrated the 25th anniversary, 25 years broadcasting. Mm-hmm. And what's really interesting is people don't realize how many shows we have.
Absolutely.
And you have the whole gamut. You have talk shows, you have music, you have bands, mm-hmm. you have, I even did a cooking show on my show.
Yep. I don't think you've done one of those yet, so yeah.
And if you're interested, call Access Sacramento 456-8600. That's 456-8600.
And if you'd like to get to me directly, then you can dial extension 144 and you can leave voicemail. I'll even give you my email address. It's scarpenter@accesssacramento.org. Really easy. Long names, just easy to remember.
And that will be put up on the credits, so
you bet.
You can write it down.
Well, you know, we're also located at 46 and T Street, so just come on down and I'll talk to you.
4623 T Street. It's good parking, and
close to
on
light
weekends
rail.
It's good parking. And you could come down and watch a show, or you can talk to Shane, or you can talk to anyone in the production office or Access Sacramento office. With TV, you can take the classes, and once you take the classes and you get certified, you can work the cameras, you can work the control room, you can do lights, and I tell you, it gets into your blood. Mm-hmm. I've been doing my show for going on 2 years.
Very good. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. And it's exciting, especially when you edit it and you put produced and directed by Tony Frantino. I'm going, whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, you could actually be the only one on the credit list if you wanted to, and you could have all your, you know, audio, video, graphics, blah, blah, you know, and it could be all yours.
Well, I do need my crew.
Absolutely.
I have good crew.
Yep.
And it's hard to do a show without a crew.
Absolutely, especially
on the
television
side.
Especially.
Yeah. Radio is not too bad.
Yeah, we're pretty much individuals, and although we do have, you know, we're a small sort of family. You know, we're truly a radio station, and we have producers meetings. As a matter of fact, the next producers meeting is going to be in October. It's the first Wednesday in October, second Wednesday in October rather. I think it's like the 15th or something like that. I'm not sure, but we have them every quarter, and so it's always the second Wednesday of each new quarter at 7 p.m. here at the Coloma Center. And so, but definitely, you know, anybody who volunteers and gets involved is appreciated here, because it can't happen without folks giving their time.
And it's so much fun and so much excitement, especially, well, I know on the TV side, when you were able, I have introduced several bands, give them their first choice
Absolutely.
To perform. I have had psychics, I have had people from Access, I have interviewed TV show hosts. It's exciting. And for everyone out there, I'm taping on October 20th, September 20th, a belly dancing show. It's going to be an hour special. I'm going to have belly dancing. Well. Having the food catered by a Mediterranean restaurant.
Oh, very good, very good.
You might.
I plan to be there.
Yeah, you might want to do a co-production.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. I mean, that's really begs the question too. Is
Wouldn't
like
it
how
be
are we
fun?
gonna do that belly dancing on the radio? But we definitely we would be happy
Yeah.
to you know, because we could broadcast it in stereo while
Right.
you guys are putting it out on.
Yeah.
You know, and especially, you know, that's one thing. I mean, we have done, you know, combo operations, so to speak, where we did simulcast. And there was live TV being produced here in the studio, and we busted across the tie lines, and we broadcast that out in stereo.
Well, let's work on that. I have a minute left, but let's
bet.
work on that. That would be really exciting.
Anything I can do to help, and
Well, thank you.
know, we're pretty excited.
And thank you for coming on.
Here again, it's my pleasure.
I think
Anytime.
that's really exciting. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Sean. Thank you, my crew. Thank you, my audience. And do come back and watch us. If you have any suggestions, just email me. I will put my email up there. And if you like this show, email me, and I will give you one free ticket to Chautauqua Playhouse. Because my second love is community theater, and I want to keep it alive. So, if you like this, email me, tell me what show you have heard me, and I will give you one free ticket to Chautauqua. Thank you, crew. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. I have an audience, too. Hi, audience. Thank you. And please, do watch Local Talent Showcase. We will have more exciting talent in the next month and years. Thank you, and have a good evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you're watching this show. Good night, good morning, good afternoon.